Opening in the U.S. to critical acclaim on December 6, Magnus von Horn's The Girl with the Needle can't exactly be categorized as a horror movie. However, that doesn't mean that the black and white drama about two disenfranchised women crossing paths in 1920s Denmark doesn't have a tinge of horror to it. The story of Caroline, Vic Carmen's son, who takes a job assisting Dagmar Trine Dyerholm, the owner of a clandestine adoption agency that purports to help poor, unmarried mothers find homes for their children, is a true crime drama. And, as is often the case with such tales, the reality can sometimes be just as horrifying, or even more so, than the fiction it inspires. Expertly portrayed by Dyerholm, Dagmar is a very well-known figure in Danish history, one that many individuals in Northern Europe are most likely pretty familiar with. Her full name is Dagmar Johan Amalie Overby, and, between 1915 and 1920, she ran an underground operation much like the one depicted in The Girl with the Needle. Except that underneath her charitable facade, there was something much more sinister waiting to be discovered. And Caroline Ajisen, well, she was the one that helped bring it all to light. We have been avoiding spoilers up to this moment in favor of those that want to let themselves be surprised by von Horn's film. But some of you may have already guessed what happened to the children that fell under Overby's care. During all those years in which her operation was afloat, the would-be caretaker that allegedly sold her charges to wealthier families was actually killing the babies that came into her home. Overby was eventually charged with the murder of 9 children, but she actually confessed to 16 killings, and many believe that her victims were as many as 25. According to the Copenhagen Post, which interviewed retired police officer, lecturer, and tour guide Poul Fjeldgaard back in 2016, Danish authorities believe that Overby may have started her long career as a serial killer by murdering her own child. However, there is not enough evidence to prove it as a fact. What is known, however, is that in 1915 Overby arrived in Copenhagen and opened her so-called illegal adoption agency. For years, she took in babies coming from poor households, born from women that were socially shunned due to having fallen pregnant out of wedlock. In an environment in which there was no such thing as reproductive rights, turning your baby into an unknown person in the hopes that they would be taken in by more well-to-do families did not sound bad at all. And, in 1920, that is exactly what Caroline Ajisen did. Ajisen didn't start by going straight to Overby. Instead, she placed an ad in a local paper looking for a home for her newborn daughter. Overby noticed the ad and went up to Ajisen, promising that she would find the little girl a home. Ajisen paid Overby about 200 kroner for her services. On the following day, however, Ajisen regretted her decision and knocked on Overby's door, asking for her baby back. The problem was that the child had already been adopted, or so Overby claimed. When inquired as to who had adopted her, it was revealed that Overby had conveniently lost the information. Ajisen was rightfully alarmed and immediately alerted the police, who, upon visiting the home in which Overby lived with her then-partner, a firefighter known only as Svensson, found baby clothes and human remains in the couple's oven. It soon came to light that Overby had been killing the babies that entered her adoption agency, using methods that vary from drowning to strangulation to straight-up burning the children alive. Overby was arrested, taken to court, and sentenced to death on March 3, 1921, becoming the first woman to receive such a sentence in Denmark since the 1860s. However, King Christian X would later commute the sentence to life in prison. Overby died in jail in 1929, just a year prior to the abolition of the life sentence in Denmark. Despite being such a renowned killer and rightfully remembered as an infamous figure, Overby had a complicated life of her own. Her lawyers tried to argue that she had suffered her own share of abuse as a child in order to get her a lighter sentence, but it didn't work out. Before being arrested for numerous murders, she had other run-ins with the law for theft, going back all the way to when she was just 12 years old. Understanding what makes such a character tick is part of what motivates director Magnus von Horn. The need to understand the social environment that made such crimes possible is another part. What she did says so much about society surrounding her at the time, von Horn told Time. She didn't kidnap babies to kill them. Women came to her and gave her babies. We wanted to try to tap into that world. The result is nothing less than stellar. Besides the critical acclaim, The Girl with the Needle was also nominated for the Palme d'Or at the 2024 Cannes Film Festival and is currently Denmark's entry for Best International Feature Film at the Academy Awards. The Girl with the Needle is currently showing in theaters across the U.S.